Welcome back, Movie Draft House. I'm your host, Mark, and it's a 5-minute review. In today's review, we're going to be talking about the recently released to streaming action flick Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. It's out now on Paramount Plus, and it originally released in theaters summer 2023. It was late summer, like July-ish, I think. But it's recently been nominated for 2 Oscars. So that's kind of exciting, right? I think one of them was VFX. Yep. A nominee for Best Achievement in Visual Effects. And then nominee for Best Sound. So it's a 2-time nominee. And it's got a good chance of being. I got my cord wrapped around me. It's got a good chance of being, a winner, especially for Best Sound. But anyways, Dead Reckoning Part 1 comes in at 2 hours and 43 minutes. It's a long film, but it continue. Ethan Hunt. I mean, I don't really need to go over the plot, other than Ethan Hunt and his gang of spies are trying to stop essentially a supercomputer, AI supercomputer, from taking over the world. I mean, that's really the plot in a nutshell. But it stars Tom Cruise. Haley Atwell is a newcomer here. She plays Grace, but returns Ving Rhames as Luther, Simon Pegg as Benji, Rebecca Ferguson as Ilsa. Vanessa Kirby is a newcomer here. Isai Morales as Gabriel. Palm Clementieff as Paris, and she has 0 words in this movie, but she's in it throughout. And she's pretty badass. But Shea Wingham and Greg Tarzan Davis make appearance. Carrie Ewells, and that's pretty much it as far as folks that have been in this franchise. But anyways, I really enjoyed it. I mean, it is 2 hours and 43 minutes, but it's nonstop, and Tom Cruise doing all of his stunts, and just the set pieces for action. It's directed by Christopher McQuarrie, who's directed 3 other Mission Impossible films. But let's see, what has he got? As far as director, he previously directed the film Jack Reacher, which starred Cruise, and then Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, Mission Impossible Fallout, and then Dead Reckoning Part 1. I believe he's going to be back for, let's see. Yep, he's also the director of Part 2, so which comes out this year. No, next year. Capable director, capable action director, knows Tom Cruise and his abilities to hold screen and to hold down stunts, and it's just, I mean, even though it's long, it doesn't drag, right? Everything is quick moving. There's plot pieces. I really love the opening of this film, where it's a Russian submarine trying to essentially sink another submarine, and it turns out the submarine is just an AI creation, and just give me a really good throwback nostalgia feeling to like Hunt for Red October, or so whatever else submarine movie I've seen. But anyways, highly recommend. It's I mean, it globetrots. We go from the desert to I think it's Paris. France. And then eventually it goes all over the place, and it's very well put together. So streaming now, Paramount Plus. Give it a watch. I mean, you got to set aside some time for it, but you won't be sorry that you did. That's the thing. It is a good film. I highly recommend. Anyways, hit the subscribe button when it pops up so you don't miss any future content right here in the podcast. If you want to follow the podcast on your favorite social media platforms, we're at Movie Draft House. We're on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, right here on YouTube. Doing big things. Give us a like, follow, and a subscribe. And don't forget, the podcast releases weekly every Thursday on your favorite podcast streaming platforms: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Anywhere you get your podcasts, we're right there. And we'll catch you next time.
The world is changing. Truth is vanishing. War is coming.
It's been a long time, friend. You've no idea the power I represent. It knows your story and how it ends.